All right, what's going on, guys? It's Luke here. Today we're going to do a weekly outlook going over the week of June 1st to the 5th, 2026. I'm going to show you guys my higher time frame chart. What I have marked out, just some potential scenarios I'm looking at, and then we're going to go through the news day by day, and I'll tell you guys how I'm approaching every single day, day by day. So this will be out on Sunday the 31st. So Alpha Futures, today is the last day for 25% off. Code LukeX if you guys want to pick up any accounts. That's on all accounts. Funded next is 47% off the Flex accounts, and then top one is 50% off the Elite Dailies. So if you guys want to grab any of those accounts, links are all in the pinned comment. So yeah, let's get into this. We're gonna run through quick weekly outlook, show you guys what I have marked out. Really nothing crazy this week. As you can see, we had a strong weekly candle as we've been having week after week after week, and this week is no different, right? So if we recap the week here, we know that Monday we had that bank holiday, so you can see we had a push up start of the week. We had that little retrace there. We tapped into that daily for value gap. And then what did we do? We continued back to all-time highs once again. So once you think you're getting away from all-time highs, it always comes back up, which is why I say you always want to go with the trend. You always want to be looking to have a bullish bias going into the day and really only looking to take shorts if you really get true confirmation. Now, I've been taking shorts a lot, but it's when I have a lot of experience in this market, and it's really when I have a lot of confirmation. I'm shorting, but I'm coming into the day most days with a strong bullish bias. So starting on the higher time frame on the weekly, you can see we had, again, this strong weekly bullish close. You can see we barely put in a bottom wick. I don't even think we did. We just gapped. Oh, no, we gapped up at week open, and then we never filled that new week opening gap. So that could be something we want to watch out for to rebalance that new week, the opening gap from last week. But we'll see what this market open does. So on the weekly, basically all I have marked out right now is previous week's high, which is obviously our all-time high. I have previous week's low down here, which again is going to be that new week opening gap from this past week. And then I also marked out this weekly low down here. Now moving down to the daily, again, you could see start of the week, we traded up, we pulled back into this daily gap, and ES filled the new week opening gap, NQ didn't, and then we had a continued move up from there. So basically all I have marked down in my higher time frames working from the top down. Previous week's high and all-time high, I have this daily low right here, and then I have previous week's low, which is resting right above these two daily bullish gaps, and then I just have this weekly low marked out down here. Now if we go over to ES, pretty much the exact same thing, but we did get that bullish SMT that sent price higher. So you can see on the weekly we did end up actually putting in that bottom wick. You can see I have previous week's high and previous week's low marked out. Again, we tapped into that daily gap, we did get that sweep there, and as you can see, if you look on NQ, we never took out that that candle right there. So you can see we got that. ES filled that new week opening gap and sent price higher, but pretty much the same scenario on NQ and ES. So again, one thing I do really want to see eventually happen is that gap get rebalanced. But like, we'll see, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. So yeah, we'll see what wants to happen, and we'll go from there. So starting off for scenarios, okay? Basically, again, I'm coming into the week with a bullish bias. Always. Why? Because we're at all-time highs. So mainly our main draws here is going to be previous week's high and previous week's low. That's going to be our main draws in liquidity. But if we work down to the 4-hour, we do see that we have this 4-hour gap. And this 4-hour gap can be used as a higher time frame condition for us. Why? Because it's wedged between our buy side and our sell side. Obviously, we tapped into it already, but this 4-hour gap is still valid. We've never respected CE yet, so this could technically be a nice area for price to react off of. So I will be using this 4-hour gap at the beginning of the week as my condition, right? So scenario number one, if we want to just start pushing up and gapping up at market open on Sunday night, and we start trading it over previous week's high, it's pretty much one of two scenarios. We see price continue to displace higher, we're waiting for price to pull back, and we're looking to target overnight draws and liquidity when we trade. That's pretty much it. You're waiting for price to pull back, displace past all-time highs, pull back, and you're looking for continuations higher. Now, again, what are you targeting? You're going to be targeting overnight draws and liquidity. So you could be targeting London highs, Asia highs, whatever was left over from overnight, right? Another thing you can do is target psychological levels. So you could see we are getting very close to 31,000. That could be a strong psychological level that we could see price run up to. Today we did tap 30,500, so 31,000 could be the next draw on liquidity, or not draw on liquidity, but the next psychological level where we see price go to. But again, if market opens up and starts displacing bullish past all-time highs, that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm waiting for price to continue to displace, and I'm just looking to get in on retraces and target overnight draws and liquidity. Now, what happens if price opens up, sweeps previous week's high, and then we start getting a rotation back down? Now, this is where this 4-hour gap is going to come in handy, right? Because this is going to be the area we're going to be watching. If price comes back into this 4-hour gap and we get confirmation back to the upside, we're just looking to trade, back up to the newly formed highs. But if price comes up, we get that manipulation and we start trading below that 4-hour gap, this is going to be our condition. And if we see this get broken, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be likely looking to see price come down, take out previous week's low, come down, maybe fill this daily gap, and then kind of reassess from there. So basically, I'm just using this 4-hour gap right now as my condition. So if you guys know how I trade conditions, I have a whole video on them in my education playlist. You're just using if-then statements, and it's no different on the higher time frame than it is the lower time frame. So I'm just using this 4-hour gap to see where price wants to be supported, or if this wants to be broken through. So again, if we displace higher off of market open, I'm going to be looking for continuations higher towards overnight draws of liquidity. But if we get a quick manipulation higher, see how it reacts. If we continue, we can look for high longs back to the upside. But if we break below this 4-hour gap, then that's telling me we are actually shifting bearish. We're getting a break of structure on the 4-hour. We're inversing this 4-hour gap. Then I want potentially shorts towards previous week's low, to refill that new week opening gap, tap into these daily gaps, and then from there is where we reassess kind of from there, right? Because this is going to be the area that either sends price up, but if this starts breaking, that's where we really start looking for moves lower towards this weekly low. But we'll see what happens throughout the start of the week. Again, my main idea here is using this 4-hour as my condition. If price respects it, I'm going to be looking for higher, and we're looking to target those overnight draws. But if price breaks below, I do think that we can probably see a run down to previous week's low and potentially see that that new week opening gap, eventually get rebalanced. You could see right here, it was never filled, right? We never had a bottom wick on that candle. So I would like to see that get rebalanced eventually, but all-time highs, you really can't bet against the trend. Whenever you think price is going to go down, it just keeps going. So you really want to wait for strong confirmation, or if you're going to short, right? But those are my ideas. Just basically, I'll show you guys a visual again. We're looking for something like this. If we displace past, we're looking for something like this. And again, if price starts breaking below here, this would be the area I'm watching to see that new week opening gap get rebalanced, and then maybe see that and then reassess from there, because then that's going to be a whole different situation. But that's all I have marked out on my charts, guys. Pretty simple this week. Again, just betting with the trend until proven otherwise, and a higher time frame break of structure, an inverse on the 4-hour. That's really going to be telling to to show that you actually want to see a retrace. So you really want to be looking for higher time frame stuff like that if you're going to look for shorts, right? So now we're going to break through on the news day by day. We do have a pretty good week. I've already looked at it. So I'm pretty excited for this week. We should have a lot of volatility. These last 2 weeks really haven't had too much red folder. So really excited for this. So starting out on Monday, we actually have some red folder. We have ISM manufacturing PMI. Now, the way I trade 10 a.m. red folder, if you guys know, I try to trade 9:30 to 9:50, and I try to be in and out of the market as fast as possible, but obviously not forcing a trade. So if I don't catch a trade and it's 9:50 and the market's just chopping, I'm waiting for 10 a.m. to play out. I'm waiting for that manipulation, the PO3, something to happen, and then I'm trading after 10 a.m. So maybe by like 10:05 we catch something. But if I don't catch anything by 9:50, I let that 10 a.m. news play out, and then I go from there, right? If you guys are on fundeds where no news trading is allowed, be careful of this. But yeah, this would be a normal trading day. Other than that, just being cautious at that 10 a.m. But I'm always cautious at 10 a.m. to be honest, because I love trading the PO3 a lot recently. Tuesday, we have Jolts at 10. It's actually listed as orange folder. So we'll see. It's going to be the same idea though. I'm really not too concerned about it because Jolts isn't as bad, but we'll see. Again, I'm going to be trading pretty much normally this day. I'm really not too concerned about this. But again, if the volume dies down by 9:50, even if there isn't red folder news, I usually just wait for 10 a.m. to play out, really wait for that 4-hour candle to open up, and then you can kind of trade from there. But normal trading day overall on Tuesday. Wednesday, same thing again, ISM Services PMI. We do have 8:15 red folder. Make sure to mark out this candle if it's not already taken out by market open. But same idea here again with the 10 a.m. news protocol. Thursday, just unemployment claims. I would still mark out this candle wick if it isn't taken out as well, but this is normal trading day. And then Friday, NFP, and this is a normal trading day for me. I'm usually I trade fine on NFP. I know a lot of people skip NFP day. I trade NFP, and it's usually fine. So that's it from you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Again, pretty simple. This is all I have marked out on my higher time frame charts. We'll see what happens, and should be a good week ahead. Should have a lot of good volatility, I'm hoping, and hopefully we can get away from all-time highs. Ideally, we do get this move lower. I would really like that because I don't like trading all-time highs personally, but we'll see. We'll see what this week has in store for us. But that's it from you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.